Obviously a big change is boats. What do we do on the boat side from a sailor perspective? That's obviously the question people want to ask first, but you know, we spent a lot of time trying to make this decision. Not an easy decision about what we do in the future, but we're going to be doing turbocharged 60-footer, basically a monohull, a single hull boat for the offshore, and we're going to do a multi-hull inshore boat. It's a bit like using the right tool for the right job. What we are doing is making it harder to win the race. A sailing team that wins the next Volvo Ocean Race after this one will be needing to master both the inshore and the offshore. So we're going to be foil-assisted monohulls across the oceans and fully flying catamarans on the import races. To win the Volvo Ocean Races just got a whole lot harder. Use one design, identical boats, as we have for the offshore boats, which allows us to take the best technology that's going on, cap it at a certain level, and use it at in a budget constraint that we have, which is keeping the budget similar to this edition going forward. And then when you look at the monohulls, you can start by drawing bigger and bigger boats, but with foil technology is making the aerodynamics ultimately more important than the hydrodynamics, or progressively so, even on a monohull that's still going to be touching the water. And so size overall you start getting smaller, not bigger. And we found ourselves looking at an optimized Volvo Ocean Race monohull around a sort of 62-foot size. And then you start thinking, well, if we're going to do that, and fundamentally we're designing similar boats to the Mocha boats that do the Vendée Globe and the short-handed circuits in France, can we make it that the platform itself can be convertible into one of those boats? So, but ultimately we're looking at a boat which is taking what's been learnt on the Mocha boats and taking it into a fully crewed environment, which means we have to be careful as well. The boats will be pushed harder than any boat that's pushed at that size today, for longer. And using all these latest developments in foil-assisted technology, the boat will spend less of the time in the water. I mean, consideration is how big is a team. Volvo Ocean Race remains absolutely about a team effort. A skipper and crew, and to win it, that's the bit that really matters. The crew will be a bit smaller, probably between 5 and 7, plus the onboard reporter. It's a smaller boat. Then they were going to have a boat which is going to push the sailors, excite the fans and sailors, probably beyond anything that they've seen in the Volvo Ocean Race in its history, quite frankly. We're at that stage in technology which we are pushing the limits, and quite very close to the line, I think, probably in terms of what the human body can take as well on these boats. That's going to be difficult to manage, and as ever, to win will take you pushing very hard but not pushing across that line where you break people or boats. It's going to be very tough to win in the future. The core spirit and DNA is absolutely there. The human adventure is still there. The level of competition was fierce then and it's fierce today, and it's the cocktail of those two that really makes that work. That hasn't changed. In some ways lots of things have changed, but nothing's changed in that respect. It's still a brutal race. It's still probably harder than ever, quite frankly, on a human body and mind.